Good morning, students. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. The problem that I'm going to discuss today is based on the application of impulse momentum theorem and angular impulse angular momentum theorem. So as you can see in this figure, so there is a disk of mass m and radius r. So the problem shows a disk of mass m and radius r which is kept on a rough floor. So the floor beneath this disk is rough. A string of length r by 2 has its one end tied to the center of the disk and other to a particle of mass m. Now there is a string and length of the string is equal to r by 2 where r is the radius of the disk and one end of this string is tied to the center of the disk and another end is tied to a particle whose mass is same as the mass of this disk. Now this particle is imparted a velocity u in horizontal direction as shown in figure. So at t equal to 0, I gave an impulse to this particle such that it acquires a velocity u as you can see here in the horizontal direction. Okay. Now what will happen as this particle will start moving, this string will start changing its orientation and there will be tension in this string. So what will happen? The disk will also start moving in horizontal direction. So we have to calculate maximum deflection of the string assuming that disk does not slip on the floor. So I have already told you that the floor is rough and floor is sufficiently rough such that there is no slipping between the floor and this disk. So we have to assume that the disk does not slip on the floor. So at any instant the disk is doing pure rolling on the floor. So assuming all these things, we have to calculate maximum deflection of the string. What will be the maximum deflection of the string? So please give it a try before looking at the solution. Let us now discuss the solution of this problem. Okay. So as the particle starts moving, what will happen? The tension in the string will start building up. Okay, so when the particle was here and it will start moving, and what will happen? Tension, there is some tension in this string. So because of that tension, uh, this string will start applying a force which will cause a horizontal acceleration in the disk. Now, now because the floor is rough, so what will happen? Static friction will start acting in backward direction, and at any instant the disk will have some linear acceleration and some angular acceleration. So because of the static friction acting in backward direction, the disk will start rolling on this floor. So the particle is moving like this and disk is rolling on the floor. Now particle is moving in circular path in the frame of reference of the disk. So just imagine any observer who is sitting at the center of this disk. So as per that observer, this particular particle is moving in circular path whose center is at the center of the disk, and relative velocity of the particle will be in tangential direction with respect to this observer. So at the instant when the deflection in the thread is maximum, the relative velocity of the particle with respect to center of the disk will be 0. So assume this observer, just imagine this observer observing this particle moving in circular path. My observer is at the center of this disk. So as per that observer, the particle is moving in circular path, and when the deflection in the thread is maximum, at that instant the relative velocity of the particle with respect to this center of the disk will be equal to 0. Now it means that both particle and center of the disk will be moving with the same speed and in the same direction at that instant. So what does it mean? It means that at the time of maximum deflection, the velocity of the particle and velocity of center of the disk will be same. Now because disk is doing pure rolling on this floor, so disk will also have an angular velocity, and because of pure rolling, the angular velocity, there is a relationship between angular velocity and linear speed of center of mass, and we all know that the relationship is given by omega equal to v by r. So at any instant, angular velocity of the disk will be equal to linear velocity of center of mass divided by radius of the disk. Why? Because this point of contact will be instantaneously at rest because disk is doing pure rolling. Okay, so this figure shows uh, this figure shows the situation as observed by an observer which is observing the entire thing from ground frame of reference. So the disk is moving horizontally. The center of the disk is moving with some horizontal velocity v, and the velocity of the particle at this instant will be exactly equal to the velocity of this center. Why? Because the deflection is maximum, and if deflection is maximum, the relative velocity of the particle with respect to center has to be 0. And there is some angular velocity also, which is given by omega and which is equal to v by r. Now the frictional force which has acted on this disk is static in nature. Now we know that work done by static friction is 0. So the only force, see, work done by static friction is 0. Work done by mg which is acting at the center of this disk will also be 0, because uh, the center of the disk is moving in horizontal direction. Similarly, work done by normal reaction will also be 0, and tension is the internal constraint force. So total work done by tension on this disk as well as on this particle will also be 0. So we can say that mechanical energy of the system will remain conserved. Only the mg which is acting on this particle is doing work. So total initial mechanical energy will be equal to total final mechanical energy. So let us try to frame a equation using the fact that the mechanical energy of the system remains conserved. Okay. So initial mechanical energy. So this was the initial situation. The particle is moving with a speed u. So initial mechanical energy will contain only one term, and that term will be corresponding to the kinetic energy of the particle. So initial mechanical energy will be equal to kinetic energy of the particle, which is equal to half mu square. Now this is the final situation. Okay. So in this final situation, the particle will have some kinetic energy and disk will also have some kinetic energy. So kinetic energy of the particle will be equal to half mv square, where v is the speed of this particle, and as I have discussed earlier, the speed of this particle will be equal to speed of center of this disk also. So kinetic energy of the particle is equal to half mv square. Now disk also has some kinetic energy. So but disk is doing translation as well as rotation. So disk's kinetic energy will contain two terms, one corresponding to the kinetic energy of center of mass, half mvcm square, which is half mv square, and second corresponding to the rotational kinetic energy, which will be half I ICM into omega square. So half ICM into omega square, this is half. Then ICM of the disk, moment of inertia of the disk about center of mass is mr square by 2. So this is ICM mr square by 2, and omega is v by r. So this term represents the total kinetic energy of the disk, which is sum of two terms, half mvcm square and half ICM omega square. Now particle will also gain some potential energy. So if I assume that at the initial instant the potential energy of the particle was 0, then particle has moved in upward direction, upward vertical direction by an amount r by 2 into 1 minus cos theta, as you can see here. Okay, so in this diagram, initially particle was at a depth of, or at a distance of r by 2 from this point, which is the center of the disk. Okay, and finally the vertical distance is r by 2 cos theta. So the amount by which the particle has moved in vertically upward direction is given by r by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. So particle, because it has moved in upward direction, it has gained some kind potential energy, and if I assume potential energy of the particle at this point uh, in the initial situation to be 0, then gain in potential energy of the particle will be mgr by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. So now I can apply this equation that initial mechanical energy will be equal to final mechanical energy. So I have initial mechanical energy and I have final mechanical energy also, which is the sum of these three terms. Okay, kinetic energy of particle, kinetic energy of disk, and potential energy of the particle. So if I apply this formula, I will get a equation, a relationship between u, v, and theta. Now u is given in the problem, so I have two variables v and theta, and this one equation. So this equation is u square equal to 5 by 2 v square plus gr into 1 minus cos theta. Now the problem is I have one I have one equation and two variables, two unknowns. So unknowns are v and theta here. So how will I need to find one more relationship. So how will I find another relationship? Okay, so one common mistake that any student can do in this particular problem is trying to apply law of conservation of angular momentum. So in a lot of questions related to pure rolling, what we do, we try to apply law of conservation of angular momentum about any point on this line. So just think about it, whether it is possible to apply law of conservation of angular momentum about any point which is uh, lying on this horizontal line in this particular problem. So in this particular problem, the torque of this frictional force about any point which is lying on this horizontal line is 0. Torque of mg and normal reaction acting on this disc will be 0. Tension is an internal force, but there is an mg which is acting on this particle. So that because of that mg, we cannot say that torque on the system about any point lying on this horizontal line will be 0. Okay, so we cannot apply angular momentum conservation in this particular problem. Angular momentum of the entire system about any point on this horizontal line will not remain conserved. This is a very common mistake which uh, all the students commit whenever I give this problem to them. Okay. So now what will I do? Now I have one equation and I have two unknowns. One is v and one is theta. So I need to find one more relationship so that I can solve I so that I can find out v and theta. Now let us see whether I can apply impulse momentum theorem here. So what I am doing here, I am trying to use impulse momentum theorem for the entire system. Now I am applying impulse momentum theorem in horizontal direction. Now impulse momentum theorem says that impulse of external force on the system is equal to change in linear momentum of the system. Now this F is another unknown here. Now F dt. Now see, frictional force is variable here in this problem. So I do not know how frictional force is varying with time. So integration F dt represents the net impulse of frictional force on the system. So F dt will be equal to change in linear momentum of the system in horizontal direction. So finally, final linear momentum of the system. So I am assuming leftward direction as positive. So F dt is positive here, integration F dt, because friction is acting in leftward direction. In leftward is positive. Now change in momentum, change in linear momentum. Final linear momentum is due to linear momentum of this particle and due to the linear momentum of the center of the disk. So final linear momentum is minus 2 mv. Okay, because it is in rightward direction, and initial linear momentum was minus mu, because u is also in rightward direction. So integration f dt will be equal to change in linear momentum of the system. This will give me this equation, which is equation number 2. Now I have found one more relationship, but I have introduced one more variable, which is this integration f dt. Now I need one more relationship. So what I can do here, I can use angular impulse angular momentum theorem for disk only. So if I look at the disk, now I know that torque of external forces about center of mass is equal to tau cm is equal to ICM into alpha, which means that the angular impulse about center of mass will be equal to change in angular momentum about center of mass. Now what is angular impulse about the center of mass of the disk? So there is one frictional force. Now the angular impulse of the tension, now tension is also external when I'm talking about this disk. So angular impulse of the tension about center of mass will be 0. Angular impulse of this vertical mg about center of mass will be 0, and angular impulse of normal reaction also about center of mass will be equal to 0. So it turns out that only this frictional force has the net external torque about center of mass of the disk. So angular impulse of the frictional force about center of mass of the disk will be Fr dt. Okay. So integration Fr dt is the angular impulse of frictional force about center of mass, and this will be equal to change in angular momentum of the disk. So now change in angular momentum of the disk will be ICM into omega. So ICM is mr square by 2 here and omega is V by R. Now here in this particular problem, R can be taken outside here. So this R will cancel one R here. And finally I will get integration f dt equal to mv by 2. So this equation number 3 I have got by applying angular impulse angular momentum theorem for this. So I have this equation 2 and this equation 3. Okay, so I can eliminate f dt from second and third equation. So this will give me u is equal to 5v by 2, which means that v is equal to 2u by 5. So this is my fourth equation. Okay. So now I have my first equation. So I have two relationships between v and theta. One is the equation number 1 which I got using the mechanical energy conservation, and second is this equation which says v is equal to 2u by 5. So using these two equations I can easily solve this particular problem for u and theta. So from 1 and 5 I will get cos theta equal to 1 minus 3u square by 5gr, which will give me that theta max. So at the time of maximum deflection, theta max will be equal to cos inverse 1 minus 3u square by 5gr. Okay. So the maximum deflection in the thread will be cos inverse of 1 minus 3u square by 5gr. So I hope you like this problem. Please keep on watching my YouTube channel for more such interesting problems.